always a good day when you get something come through from David Schulman. David runs Schulman Auctions and Realty in Kansas, Missouri, and a couple of boxes came through today, which is fantastic. So many thanks to David. Just to give you an idea of the size of these boxes that have to come over from the United States, pretty big when you look at the size of the freezer there. It's absolutely. All right, well, let's have a look what's inside. Just worth having a quick look at how the boxing's done. So basically one big box with a smaller box inside it with bubble wrap all through, and very professionally done actually, extremely good. Righto, so out of the boxes, and we'll have a much closer look at these very, very soon, but some extremely clean. This is the ICOM IC775 DSP, and as you can see, this came out of David's Auctions, has a quite a good tagging system, and the other one that's come over in box number 2 is an absolutely mint Kenwood R820. Unfortunately, no power cord with the 820, so I'll check with David just whether or not they just got forgotten, or normally with David's gear you'll find it's very complete. We've bought a few bits from David before. Obviously, the power cord that comes with the 775 will need a bit of a plug change out, if I can find it. Yes, so that's okay. And we will have to convert the voltage from memory to 240 volts on both these units. Both not very hard to do, but look at the condition of these things. This is a very much an example of what David sells. And look, by the time you land these gear, this sort of gear, it's not cheap. I'm just going to say that up front. Not because of David's pricing, just simply because the market, it's an auction, so the market dictates the price. You know, what they get is what they get. And but you know, really, when you look at any of David Schulman's auctions, you'll find that the photos do display very much what you're buying, and this is really just to encourage you to go through David's photos. Just a reminder, if you're over here in Australia, do talk to David about the freight side of things. As I've said before, David's not a freight company. He has third-party people that look after freight, and if in fact David can help you, you know, he certainly will. If it looks like it's going to go too silly with a third-party situation, he's always willing to help. He's the first guy to say if there's an issue that he refunds. Yeah, look, there's just so many good things about David Schulman that people probably don't know, but I'm really happy to talk about that. And we had a little freight issue on this one. First thing David offered to do is, look, you know, I'm happy to refund, you know, what was a couple of $1,000 in this case at least, and it's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to get the stuff over at a reasonable freight price, which then David ran around on his own bat, which is, you know, as I said, David's not a freight company. He ran around and sorted my problem out, and we got it freighted over actually at a really reasonable price. So thank you, Mr. David Schulman. You're a legend, and thank you for the 820 and the IC775 that's come in. We'll do some reviews on both of them very, very soon. And actually, I'll just show you the back of them too. It's not really a complete video without seeing the rear and how clean the gear is. As you can see here, line voltage 220, 240, 110, 120. So from memory, it's an auto switching supply, but I will check the manual on that. Over here, they use a 4-pin plug by the look of it. 120, 240 volts. So we'll have to see if we can find... And please, by the way, I'm not saying this came with power cord. It may well not have. Once again, when you're buying, check the photos, you know, and just check what comes with it. In my case, I can't remember on this one, and it's really insignificant. This will, you know, be able to get a 4-pin plug to sort that out, and we need to rewire possibly anyway for 240 volts. But just having a look here, actually. What does that say? Just having a look. Oh boy, my eyesight is absolutely shocking at the moment. What does that say on there? Full IF out. Oh, full transceive. Sorry, yes, okay. So this is the transmit receive. So when you're running it with the the transceiver, you can run this as a separate receiver and have it all switching. Yes. Okay. Oh, and there's very clear the 110 volt there. Excuse me. So basically this would move around to 240 volts in our case. Probably have to take the screw out. I can't remember with these. Anyway, when in doubt, read the manual. Anyway, that is the sort of extremely clean equipment you're going to get from David Schulman Auctions. Once again, check the photos because generally you can learn so much. David does so many shots of every radio. He sells hundreds and hundreds of radios, and he really does do a fine job. All right, well, that's really great to see. No dents, no nothing. And what do you reckon? With this sort of boxing and these sort of big boxes here, you're going to be pretty right. Okay. All right. 73s, we'll certainly hook these up in the next few days, and especially the 775. I'm a bit of a fan of the 775. And it is the DSP version, so, it's the fully featured yada, yada, yada. And I sold my last 820, R820 to Terry, VK3YJ, and I regretted it about 5 minutes later, not because it went to Terry, because Terry's a great guy, but because I'd sold something that was actually part of a pretty big lineup, and I sort of thought, I'll get another one. Well, the truth is I've got another one. It's cost me twice the price of what I sold one to Terry for, and that's not Terry's fault. It's just the market. I probably sold Terry that 5 years ago, and now we've realised we've got a bit of a hole in the collection, so we've spent a few bucks getting one over just to make sure, but a very, very clean one, as you can see. All right, 73s from VK3 Charlie Mike. Thanks for having a look at our couple of little imports from the US of A. Cheers.